Do you motivate yourself by telling you should or have to do something? If you do, that's a big problem, and in this video I'll tell you why that's a problem, and by the end I'll tell you how you should instead talk to yourself. I'll start by saying that I too often find myself telling me I should or have to do something, whether it be daily habits or chores or schoolwork. It used to be, and sometimes still is, a subconscious habit that I tell myself that I should or have to do something. And for the longest time I wasn't aware of how much of a problem that thinking really was. So the main problem with shoulding, or telling yourself you should do something, is that it always comes from the frame, I don't want to, but I will anyway. So it's more of a negative motivation than a positive one. Negative motivation meaning that you're avoiding something rather than moving towards something that you want. So first off, you won't be as driven, and that's because it's a negative motivation. And secondly, every time you should yourself, you're subconsciously telling yourself that you don't really want to do this activity. And that makes you lose interest and drive every single time you think this way. If for instance you like reading or meditating, and you always force yourself to do it by telling you should or have to do it, then eventually it'll start feeling like a chore, and you'll stop enjoying it anymore. And God forbid if you tell yourself you should relax. Another problem with shoulding is that it creates stress. If you tell yourself you should or have to do something, it'll feel like you're being forced to do it. It feels like there's no other choice. And that creates stress. And this has been my main struggle with the shoulding mindset. I tell myself I should film another video, do my daily habits, and yes, even relax. But thinking that way only creates more stress. So where does this mindset usually come from? Our culture preaches success and productivity. We're told that success brings social acceptance. And we start feeling like we have to be successful and productive in order to be accepted by others. Hence, we force ourselves to do things in order to feel like we're gonna be accepted. We tell ourselves we should work out, we should read, we should do this and that, instead of telling ourselves we want to work out, we want to read, etc. Now this is a mindset problem. So we need to change the way we talk to ourselves. Look at the way you talk to yourself. Notice when you use the words should and have to. Let's take an example. You think you have to pay your rent. So now ask yourself, do you want to pay your rent? If the answer is no, look at the consequences of you not paying your rent. You might get kicked out and become homeless. And now look at the pros of you paying your rent. And now ask yourself again, do you want to pay your rent and why? Most likely now you'll answer yes, because you want a roof over your head. So the bottom line is, when shoulding, change it from should to want to. This simple change will have a huge impact. You'll trick yourself into enjoying the activity more, you'll get rid of the stress of having no choice, and you'll gain clarity on what you actually want to do. So your task now is to notice when you're shoulding. Notice when you're telling yourself you should or have to do something. And then look at both sides of you doing it and not doing it. Then ask yourself, do you want to do it? If right now you have something you feel like you should do or have to do, you can pause the video and do the 3 steps that I just mentioned. If after you've weighed both sides, you still don't want to do something, then don't do it. Simple as that. So for instance, if you have the daily habit of reading and you've weighed both sides of you doing your daily habit, and you watching Netflix instead, on one side, if you do your daily habit, you stay true to your values and you get more wisdom. And on the other side, if you watch Netflix, you get to relax. If you weighed both sides and you would still rather watch Netflix, then go do that. Now, I want you to take away the words should and have to from your vocabulary when talking to yourself. You have to be honest with yourself with what you want to and what you don't want to do. But remember to consider both sides. In the end, you don't have to do anything in life. The only one forcing you to is you. If you gained any value from this video, hit the like button so I know. And subscribe if you want more similar content. That's all. Out.